My name is Rahil Roodsaz. I'm an anthropologist working at the University of Amsterdam, and I have a background in gender and sexuality studies. My research and teaching focus on identity, love, intimacy, and sexuality in the context of migration, sex education, as well as in various types of non-monogamous and monogamous relationships. I'm interested in the relation between larger societal transformations and everyday intimate practices. For example, I look at how therapeutic discourses inform how people think about and experience the quality of their romantic relationships, or how gendered expectations around good parenthood impact how people negotiate time and task division with their partners, or how nationalist discourses of integration in Western societies, such as the Netherlands, influence how immigrants articulate their notions of sexuality, cultural change, and identity. Between 2009 and 2014, I conducted a research project among the Iranian immigrants living in the Netherlands. There are approximately 50,000 Iranian Dutch, including myself, who migrated to the Netherlands for political and social reasons. At the time I was doing this project, the Iranian Dutch community was known as being well integrated. Unlike other Muslim communities in the Netherlands, they were portrayed as successful and more adapted. Many of the interlocutors in my project also embraced this position and would assure me that they had changed a lot since they had arrived in the Netherlands, that they had critically reviewed their previous traditional understandings of sexuality and gender and had come to value Dutch, assumably progressive norms and values. This was quite a dominant narrative, which also meant that I had a hard time finding interlocutors who took a different position, including those who explicitly identified as religious. But it was hard to believe that in the Netherlands, everyone in the Iranian Dutch community had left their religion behind. So with a lot of effort, meaning a lot of asking around, I managed to find Iranian Dutch who identified as Muslim, and not unexpectedly felt uneasy about sharing that part of their identity with me and in the Iranian Dutch community more generally. They were afraid that they would be seen as killjoys, those who ruined the good reputation of the community as modern and different from other minority groups from the Middle East. I met, amongst others, a Muslim woman who I will call Parveen. Parveen invited me to a religious women-only gathering called Sofre. As a child growing up in Iran, I had heard of Sofre gatherings, but I had never attended one. My perception of women's religious gatherings was based on what I remembered from funerals, more specifically Nohe Khani, which is a ritual where a reciter of religious elegies melodically guides the process of collective grief. So after being invited by Parveen to attend the Sofre, I started thinking about what I should wear, something that I would always think about during fieldwork, but this time even more consciously, because I didn't want to be disrespectful or offend anyone. So I decided to wear my most modest outfit, which was a pair of wide black trousers and a grey blouse. I also took a black scarf with me, putting it in my bag, in case we were expected to wear one during the ceremony. Having traveled by public transportation for almost a couple of hours, I arrived at Parveen's house. While walking towards her front door, I was completely surprised by what I saw. Iranian women were stepping out of cars wearing high heels, glamorous dresses, with perfect hair and makeup as if they were going to a wedding. I couldn't believe my eyes, and I immediately felt ashamed of how incredibly underdressed I was. I hesitated about entering, and when I finally did, I apologized to Parveen for my appearance, but she kindly assured me that it was no problem and gave me a beautiful, colorful shawl to put on my shoulders. Together we celebrated Sofre, ate way too much delicious Iranian food, recited Shia scriptures, and laughed and gossiped too. This was an important moment for me as a researcher, which made me think about researchers' positionality in different ways. Not only I was confronted with my bias about how religiosity looked like, but it also made me reflect on the relativity of being an insider. Up to that moment, I managed to move more or less smoothly in the field and took advantage of what I knew about Iranian customs and conventions and was able to find my way around. But here I was clearly clueless, which made me realize that one of the great things about doing anthropological research is the potential to stumble upon such limitations of knowledge as an ongoing process and to have the possibility to expand our horizon a little bit each time.